I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince.
Vince, what's with the tie?
I went to a career fair today.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I thought maybe you thought you were important.
No.
I thought you were trying to pretend to be my boss.
I am Boss Vince. Manager Vince. Boss Manager.
Vince has his own parking spot.
Yeah, right out there. Right up there.
Here at where we do Geekvolution, mostly because he lives here.
That's right.
Vince, what do you recommend today?
I recommend a comic book. Read them.
Joke is over.
Yeah, you're right. It is this.
I looked for a minute. I thought you had it upside down. I don't know why.
So did I, strangely enough. I'm like, wait a second. Something's wrong. But this is the second one. No,
it's right. It's right. Set up. You're good.
But this is Garth Ennis' first run on the Punisher, and this is what really inaugurated, because that's a word, inaugurated me into the world of the Punisher. And it's witty, it's action-packed, it's everything that the Punisher should be. Not everything that Ennis has done is gospel for the Punisher, but this, I think if you read this, you will at least appreciate what can be done with the character. Now, I have one complaint with this entire book. That is that the subplot, while interesting and funny and disturbing, never crosses with the main plot. Now, if you're a Punisher fan and you want recently Punisher Warzone, a 4-issue mini by Garth Ennis, came out within the last year. And if you wonder where the character Nucci came from, that's this book. It's the first 12-issue run of Marvel Knights. I take that back. There was a Marvel Knights one run where the Punisher had died and became an assassin for God or something to that effect. I don't know. I haven't read it. I'm stalling on reading that because it sounds ridiculous.
So you're saying the Punisher was like anti-Spawn?
Kind of.
He was like Redeemer?
Kind of. Not in this. This is good. That was something really, really awkward that nobody likes to talk about. But
I'd like to read that.
And the only reason I have the issues.
Do you actually have that?
I have quite a few.
I just want to know just how... It's just like when you say, this comic was awkward. Like, that's not something people usually say about comics, and immediately wants me to like, I'd like to read an awkward comic.
I haven't read it. I intend to, but I can't bring myself to do it. But this thing, 12 issues.
The only thing I have to say about this comic is that it's awkward.
You know, I like it. The funny thing is that every time I saw this book in a store, I wanted to buy it, but there was always a bend right here, like a broken spine. And then I saw this one, which had a bend in it anyway. And I went, you know what? Forget it. I've seen it 20 times. Every one of them has a bend in it. Maybe there was a problem with shipping all these things. So I bought it, and then 2 weeks later, I saw it in perfect condition. And I said...
So your main complaint is that the Punisher books have the bends?
No. My main complaint with this one is that the subplot never links up with the main plot. But this has Nucci. It has the Russian. If you want to know where some of these things in the movies came from, where some of the things in the more recent comics came from, this is it. This is where it's at. It's good stuff.
So is some of the stuff, because I haven't watched it, is some of the stuff in like Warzone based on some of that, or?
Warzone. Part of the thing about Warzone, the only good things about Warzone were taken. The characterization of the Punisher was taken from Garth Ennis's run. Like I think Garth Ennis was said in an interview that the good things about the Punisher is he can either be treated as a very serious vigilante, something that's dark and disturbing, or something that's dark and hilarious. And the Punisher is, and Warzone is. The movie Warzone specifically, it's really funny. And all that stuff ripped straight from the Punisher. Now, they went overboard with the characterization of
Jigsaw.
Jigsaw. All I could think of was his original name.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the film and I can remember that.
Well, you know, I'm trying to purge it from my memory. I'm trying to remember the good things.
I kept trying to think of Redeemer, but all I could think of was his original name, Anti-Spawn.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, so seriously,
he should have had his own miniseries. The Anti-Spawn miniseries.
The name of the artist escapes me. Steve Dillon. I believe Steve Dillon also teamed up with Garth Ennis to do the Preacher series. So if you're a fan of Steve Dillon and Garth Ennis team, this is the next one. If you've already read Preacher, go for this. I highly recommend it.
Cool.
I just rambled quite a bit.
That's alright.
Lots and lots of ramblification.
A lot of people have been telling me lately that I should read those because I haven't read, like, very much Punisher at all. I don't know it very well, and everybody's like, well, if you're going to read any, you should read that, so...
Yeah, it's a good place to start.
All right. Today I'm going to recommend a video game. Today I'm recommending for the DS Scribblenauts, which came out last year. This is one of the greatest games on the system, Vince. Have you played it?
A little bit of it.
It's so much fun. If you haven't heard of Scribblenauts, you probably have, but I'll tell you about it anyway. Scribblenauts is kind of a puzzle game where they call it noun-based, Vince, where you can write anything you can think of that's a noun that isn't like inappropriate or like a proper noun. It will pop up on the screen and you can use it to solve your problems in the game. And so if you want a dragon, type in dragon. If you want a granola bar, you'll get a granola bar.
What about a thingamajig?
No, that's not specific enough, Vince. Anyway, it's a very cool game. There's a bazillion different ways to solve all the missions. There's like 200 levels. It's really big, and there's also you can also create your own levels, which is a really fun thing to do. And some people will just go to because if you open it up and go to the start menu, there's a noun bar there where you can just type in stuff and see what pops up and fill the screen full of stuff. And some people just do that and don't even play the game. It's really funny. Anyway, it's really inventive. It's one of the most inventive games ever. The only complaint that I and a lot of folks have had with it is that it becomes, because the whole thing is with the stylus, sometimes it becomes kind of annoying and problematic to move your character because to move him, you put the stylus on the edge of the screen, and then he walks forward, and like you put it up for him to jump and stuff. And if he's got like if you give him something so he can fly, like a helicopter or wings or something, you like push it up for him to fly up and stuff. And sometimes it just doesn't work quite right. It's not a great control system. That's really the only problem with it, though. And I imagine it's popular enough they'll make a sequel. I imagine they'll fix that in the sequel. So anyway, Scribblenauts. Pick it up if you have a DS, and that's my recommendation for today.
It is fun. I played a little bit. If you were to put in the Pope, would you just Pope? Would you get the Pope?
I think yeah. I think you probably would. It's rarely very useful to put in people for some reason. Like, I mean, like it has tons of people, but like they don't always do. It's weird. They don't always work to do things. But anyway, really inventive game. Well, thanks a lot for watching. I'm Captain Logan.
I'm Vince.
And we'll recommend something for you again next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.